Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good evening from Horizon TV, coming to you live from Kenya's capital. This is Nairobi County, and my name is Faisal Kassim. Welcome to Live Real Talk, where we discuss issues that you want to hear, issues of interest to you. And on the 5th of February 2021, residents of the once known Kibos village in Kisumu County found what they used to call home. They saw it demolished on their faces. Do you know how it happened? Around 8:30 rather, I beg your pardon, 8:39, the lights went off and it was drizzling. And the police came, started throwing tear gas, and the bulldozers came in, started to demolish some of those structures. And when the boys came to at least plead with the government or the demolishers or the police to at least wait a minute or few for them to clear their mothers, their children, some of their belongings in a bid to save some of those things, they were tear gassed. Why? Because it was assumed that they were resisting. A lot of issues have been circumnavigating this whole process of the demolitions. One hand, some people are being blamed forcefully, others are not blamed per se. Nonetheless, we are here tonight to talk about the Kibos demolitions, not focusing so much on the problems, but looking at the current state of the Kibos residents and the future. Because guess what? 2 days ago, on the 24th of February 2021, Kisumu County Governor, His Excellency Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, launched a committee to look into the legalities of the resettlement of these people into the new piece of land. And we'll be getting much more information about that, because we are having a blunted panel tonight to talk about that issue. I'm having all the way from Kisumu County, Mr. Abala Wanga, who is the Kisumu County Manager. I'm having Abdurrahman Muhammad, who is also a member in the committee appointed by His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. And here in studio, I'm having Yassa Musa, who is from the Nubian Rights Forum and was there from the night of demolition, was appointed from the 10-member committee temporarily that was looking into the resettlement and the welfare of the Kisumu people. Gentlemen, assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to you. Yassa Musa, starting with you right here inside the studio. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa
As always, thank you so much for making time for us this evening right here.
Thank you so much.
Now, Yassa Musa, we don't want to focus so much on the problem, just as I mentioned in the introduction. We don't focus so much on the problem, but the current state of the people of Kibos and the future looking forward. Jamia Mosque played a key role and distributed food ration, food packages, so at least 500 families right there. Young Muslim Association constructed, or rather are in the process of constructing, at least 18 to 20 latrines within the camp. And the Kisumu County government has constructed at least 3 structures of dormitories, and Young Muslim Association have added at least 4 more. Yassa Musa, from the situation, how can you describe, now from all this aid, humanitarian aid that got to the people of Kibos, how can you describe the situation on the ground?
What I can say at the moment, the situation, based on the number of people I've spoken to, the situation is not good. And we appreciate all those support that has come from the county government, that has come from all other philanthropists. But the challenge which is now is the rain. Many of them are complaining, many of them are saying all the toilets that were constructed are now flooded. There is no space where water can be able to pass, and that is what is happening on the ground. They are talking about the mattresses that were provided to them by well-wishers. Many of them are saying what is coming from above, what is coming from the ground. So the situation is not good at all, and it is making especially children find it so hard and difficult for them to move and go to school. So the situation, I can't say it's good on the ground, and we will really need all the support and all the intervention that is needed at the moment.
Ibrahim, I don't know whether we have Abdul Rahman, whether he's already back, because we had some issues with them. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Abdul Rahman, if you can hear me, Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam, I can hear you.
Abdul Rahman, thank you so much for making time for us this evening. Abdul Rahman, I just wanted to paint a picture for us. What exactly is happening on the ground? Because from what Yasa Musa just told us in the studio is that despite the aid that came your way in Kisumu at the camp, situation is still not as good. Would you mind validating or confirming to what he just said? Naam, Abdul Rahman.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Mr. Shafi, for giving me this chance to just give some views about the situation in Kibos right now. As we know that
Abdurrahman, we cannot see you clearly. I don't know whether if you don't mind, maybe just move a little bit back yourself so that we get full view of your face. Please.
Na hapa natolewa this place.
That's fine. That's good. So sure, continue now.
As you all know that the situation here kwa ground sio vizuri, ni mvua ikinyesha hii pahali si pale ni vizuri, hapa ni swamp area. Tumekuwa katika mkutano na county government, tumekuwa na mkutano na mheshimiwa Nyang'nyong'o, alilaunch hiyo committee, na committee ilikuwa kwa ground hapa jana, ikiongozwa na mheshimiwa Abala, na Abala alikuja kwa ground mwenyewe akaona pia situation sio vizuri. Pale mheshimiwa Abala akaamua kwamba tutengenezewe barabara na mitaro ifunguliwe. Then kuna choo hapa nyuma, kuna mlango nne za hizo choo, hali yake sio nzuri. That choo is flooded, karibu inajaa. Waliana na mheshimiwa Abala kwamba hiyo choo itafungwa, na akatoa kuna pahali sehemu ambayo imetolewa kuchimba choo mlango 8. Choo jana ilichimbwa, kuja contractor on the site, kesho akuje site aweze kuweka zile makalpat choo hizo kutengeneza. Tunaweza sema saa hizi ushirikiano baina yetu na county government haya, na county government wanajaribu kwa uwezo wao kuona kwamba tunaweza kuwa katika safe place, waweze kuona kwamba tunaweza kufaulu na tutapata hii sehemu. Mheshimiwa Bala kana test that, yeye anaongoza katika hiyo kuchair that committee. Nafikiria ni hayo tu, mengi zaidi nitazidi kueleza.
Okay, thank you so much. And now, Mr. Abala Wanga, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for making time for us this evening, Mr. Abala, and congratulations for your appointment as the team leader of the team that is mandated to look into the resettlement of the Kibos community. Mr. Abala, now, just to start us off, what exactly is the scope of your mandate? Are you just looking into the legalities of resettlement, or your committee should also focus on the welfare of these people at the camp?
Thank you very much, Faisal. Yeah, I think if you can see me, you can see the booklet we prepared to guide this process. and it is called Kibos Nubian Community Resettlement Action Plan Committee. So it was inaugurated by the governor. I don't need to take much time explaining that, but inside the booklet is a concept, a guiding way of doing things, and it covers the executive summary and summarizes the whole thing. And it says a quick identification of alternative place for the county government land that would accommodate the affected family, clearing of the bushes on land that make it habitable, opening up of the access road, setting up of tents, and setting up of medical camp, and setting up of sanitation facilities, provision of water, construction of dormitories for women and children, issuing of blankets and mattresses. These are preliminary things that had been undertaken. And they had been ongoing. You remember also well-wishers, the Jumuiya Mosque, the young Muslims, and many other well-wishers have provided services so far. But we've faced a lot of challenges. And this thing has a justification, a problem statement, that this thing was done during the rainy season. The rain came, carried away some tents, flooded the area, and additionally, made a lot of challenges be more of a disaster. So it became difficult, and the governor proposed that let's have a committee that now can work around the clock to look into this matter. One of the objective of the committee is to restore the lives of the 3,000 affected families by ensuring that they have access to quality healthcare, food, shelter, clothing, sanitation, and education. And the deliverables are a bit wide. But in a nutshell, we have acquisition of the title deed for the land, ensuring affordable housing, infrastructure development, civil works, affordable healthcare, construction of a new mosque, providing power and water, and making sure that access to school is also settled by the kids and the students going on. And the proposed approach, the team need to draw their own terms of reference, which shall include work time frame and specific assignments to cover the following areas. One, resettlement. And His Excellency the Governor was mandated to communicate with the National Lands Commission to transfer the parcel of land from County Government of Kisumu to Kibos Nubian Community as soon as possible. Then housing, the County Government of Kisumu to liaise with Kibos Nubian Community leadership, other partners and well-wishers in the mobilization of resources for the construction of approved for housing design. And then infrastructure development, the county government of Kisumu to provide proper drainage, access road within the settlement area. Healthcare, there must be a makeshift of a clinic there, not just a makeshift, but a constant clinic there with several medical camps, not just one, because people have different ailments. Then construction of mosque, which is there, and we expect the results and output to be monitored and fast-tracked. So that is basically what this team is supposed to do. But remember, as this team is down, if you feed people, after digestion, they have to go to the toilet. So if they can't go to the lodging toilet, that's damnation without excuse.
Mr.
Then
Abala,
if you, yes.
Mr. Bala, thank you so much for the breakdown of your mandate and all that. We really do appreciate. Now, the question is that you've mentioned beautiful projects and development projects that you are mandated together with your committee to take up those tasks. However, from where I'm sitting, I think I'm right to assume that most of those are long-term. Talk of access roads, talk of affordable housing, talk of the schools and a proper structured mosque and all that. Those are long-term. But currently, people are still suffering. People are in limbo. From what we've heard on the ground is
Yes,
that the toilets are full.
yes.
So I don't know what's the plan to
Faisal,
immediately arrest the situation.
you just cut me short when I was giving a short term. We need 20 toilets. Short term, we need the place to be backfilled and drainage be done to avoid flooding. We need the third dormitory to be completed, and we need constant supply of food. So those ones already, the county delayed a bit, but now they have approved the contract 3.9 million for 50 trucks, Maram, which we said must be delivered by Wednesday. Digging of toilets and building the toilets mixed with the bathroom, which must be ready by next week. And the last final dormitory, there are 3 dormitories, which must be constructed by Wednesday. And the young Muslims are also constructing a dormitory. Those and they be settled in school immediately. And bursary letters to be issued, because no one can pay fees for secondary school. But the one for primary school, there's a school nearby. The education team already over the weekend will create a desk, and each parent support for that desk for the students. The medical clinic has to be established by Friday next week. And our next meeting is Wednesday, discuss the progress of the short term. The final bit is to put a resource mobilization team which should raise resources far and wide to take care of the short-term activities. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Mr. Abala. I don't think I can let you go because we are glad to have you. And for once, I would love you to put the record straight. I know you've had conversations before and you've spoken about this before, but it was alleged on this program by one of the panelists some times back that the demolitions at the village was an operation that was carried out by the county government. It was alleged, and we've had that conversation before. But again, for the purpose of setting the record straight, Mr. Abala Wanga, what do you have to say about that? At least when the viewers are watching.
Yes, Faisal, you know, when there's such a crisis and a disaster, there are a lot of speculations. And bitterness can sometimes lead people to make a lot of accusations, which are misdirected. But the honest position and the correct ground is the county government did not participate in the demolition of Kibos and the Nubian community. I was in Kibos as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. I was with Sheikh Musa, I was with Farida Salim, and Hajj. I toured the place, although due to emotions and a lot of frustrations, which also affected me emotionally, we met a very hostile ground. But we stayed there, and we worked together, and we made much progress. So it is always good to go and accuse somebody after doing your research well. And according to the accusations we have had, it is not only in the Horizon TV that this happened. Even our own senator went to Senate and accused the governor and called him names and said very clearly before Senate that the governor was responsible for the demolition. The governor was in Kibos personally and condemned the situation. I was arrested by the police for going out loudly to condemn the act by the Kenya Railways. And I was accused for falsely giving information that a Yankee died. I stayed at the police station. I was released on a cash bail of 30,000 shillings to stop inciting people in Kibos, because I was issuing statement and appealing to the public, to well-wishers to come, and they accused me of falsely saying a kid died while a kid did not die, and escalating the situation and raising emotions. So how would the county government go at night, surround the place with policemen and throw tear gas and land on them with tractors and kids running, scampering? That is a very stupid way of doing things, and county government do not operate like that. And we have really, me and the governor have condemned this act in the strongest terms possible. So let us get it clear, please. And that's why we are in this process. The Nubian community in Kisumu are Kisumu county residents. And it is our duty to protect them. We do demolitions in Kisumu, but we do demolitions on grabbed land, buildings on pathways, not helpless residents. The railway people demolished our market, and they demolished other things. But the worst one, which was affecting, was the Nubian community, helpless people who are very far from railway line. And that is what we condemned. So it is outrageous to allegedly say the county government participated in this heinous act.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Balawanga, for at least setting the record straight. Abdurrahman, I want to come back to you before I come back into the studio to ask Yasser this. You had a relief when the court gave orders that you could go back to the previous land where the houses were demolished. Of course, this is after the county government resettled you into an alternative space. But the court orders as it came allowed you to go back into that space that was demolished, pending hearing next month. Now, in this case, you are in between these two places. There's one, the land that you were, and two, the land that you're planning to be resettled into. And from what I understand is that few of you have gone back to that land and set up and pitched tent there. What exactly is the plan? Are you planning to take both lands? Are you planning to take one and leave the other? What exactly is the plan, being part of the leadership of the Kibos Nubian community? Abdurrahman.
Alhamdulillah, Mr. Shafi.
Faisal, it's Faisal.
Niambie kitu kimoja.
Naam.
Saa hizi vile kesi iko kotini, wajua ile land ya pale Kibos. Sasa hivi. Manake kesi ya tunavyojua kesi ya land huwa inachukua muda katika county government walitokeza kutia shamba hapa ya relocate watu wake. Mnavyojua watu wa Kisumu, sisi wanubi wa Kisumu, sisi ni watu tunatoka katika county government ya Kisumu. So ile land Mwenyezi Mungu akitujalia tuishinde ile land pale, itabaki kuwa ni na hii land hapa hii ya Kibos, hii ya county government wameamua pia itabaki kuwa ni yetu. Sasa hivi focus yetu yote hii land ambayo tumepewa na county government. Na tuna watu wetu ambao pia wako pale, wamebaki pale Kibos. Wako pale, walishindwa kukuja huku, maanake ni wale watu ambao wamezaliwa pale, wako around 60 to 70 years. Wanashangaa leo wanatolewa katika nchi yanga wanaenda. So wameamua hawatoki pale. Maana unaona pale kuna zile tents na kuna saizi kuna baadhi ya watu temporary structures vile ilivyohodwa na vile mahakama ilivyosema. So tukipata ile land yetu, tukipata bavu tutasema alhamdulillah, na tukipata hii ya huku tutasema alhamdulillah. Itakuwa ni ile sasa malipo yametoka kwa Mwenyezi Mungu kwa yale makosa tuliyofanya.
Kwa hivyo mna nia na madhumuni yenu ni lao mtapata land zote mbili, itakuwa sawa. Mnataka land zote mbili, pale mlipovunjiwa na pale mlipo sasa hivi. Okay.
Alafu pia tukiangalia sana saizi tunafaa tunaangalia pia walituvunjia watu walivunjia manyumba za thamani sana, tunalilia for compensation. Tunaomba pia county government iingilie watu wetu waweze kupata compensation ya zile malanda na zile vitu ambao walipoteza, zile vitu ambazo zilikuja zote.
Okay, asante sana. Yasa Musa, you were part of the committee the first time when it was selected, the temporary committee, when the governor appointed 10 people from his office and asked the Nubian community to give 10 people, and you're part of that team. So apparently there were some rumors that the land that these people currently are being, they are currently stationed, someone came and claimed ownership of that particular piece of land. Now, I don't know how factual is that information.
Based on me being on the ground on the following morning also, when all these issues were happening, the county government, we appreciate they came, but they wanted to resettle the Nubian community in a different land. And that different land was swampy and it was flooded with water. At the same time, there were some community members who are making noise and quarreling that this land is theirs and they have to be consulted. At the same time, the land that the Nubian community in Kibos have been resettled, there are many alleges that were brought, and there were so many women who were making noise, even during the separation and when the tractors were already there trying to sweep the ground. This situation has been moving on, and the previous case that was filed by Maua and advocates, there is a title deed that is stipulated to be with that land which the Nubian community has been resettled. And that brings a big challenge, and that's why you could see some Nubian community members, others are still on their land, and they were happy when the court held and told them to go and structure semi-permanent households, because it's not clear. We were supposed to have a meeting with the county government few days after the issue happened, but it's now going to a month. The meeting that has happened is only one, and my thoughts and our thoughts when we discussed, we thought it is the county government who alleged the land is theirs.
But there is a committee set, so what do you mean there have been no meetings? There is a committee set.
There is a committee, meetings has been held, but the process that we wanted was fastening, so that we make sure that land, which is 15 acres of land, all those people who are claiming the land to be theirs, we will want recommendations, and we will want the government, the county government, and also the national government in charge of title deeds to give out the process. Yes.
But Mr. Abala Wanga just confirmed that the governor was mandated to write to the National Land Commission to have that official process beginning, if I heard him correctly. Mr. Abala, is that what you said? Mr. Abala?
Yes.
Mr. Abala, if I heard you correctly, I guess that's what you said, that
yes.
the governor was going to write to the National Land Commission to have
here. I need to respond.
Please.
Now, we provided that land as a county government. And let me say it clearly. Let us not go causing confusion by arguing, advancing thoughts that will not help the situation. We, as the county, we gave out the land to the Nubian community. That is a county land. And we went through and studied the historical roots of that land. That's why that portion was given out. We went around with the group. Mwanza Musa was not there. And Maua, who was there, was inciting people who were already in problems, who did not know even where they are going to sleep. Because what he's supposed to do is his legal work, not engage in civil society negative incitement. We were dealing with emergency, and that land was given as emergency. And we are not opposed for others remaining the other side, those who want to come, because we must have a fallback position. In case Kenya Railway comes back to do those kind of things, they have a place to go to. As I'm talking to you, I just signed off a letter that the governor is forwarding to the National Land Commission, who are coming. And they have confirmed to us that is a county land as per the Gazette of 2017. That is why we are settling them there, and they are going to get their title deed, and each individual in the Nubian community will get their land. So let us stop confusions. Let us not just go talk about things we don't understand. We have problems here to solve. Lawyers and civil society must understand what they talk about. Yeah, so Mwanza Musa, before you comment, go do your research well with those lawyers of yours wakina Maua. Maua was there on the ground trying to incite people against me when no one was there. Yeah, yet we had a crisis.
Thanks so much, Mr. Abala, for your response.
Let us stick to what the committee is going to do. Yes.
Thanks so much, Mr. Abala, for your response. Now, yes, sir, you were saying something about that case.
What I was saying before I was interrupted is I was there. And if I could explain the situation, it wasn't good. When there were wrangles, people were angry, and a lot of things happened. The county government itself went and wanted to resettle the Nubian community in a swampy area.
Nonetheless,
But let me just finish.
Sure.
You know, punching lines is not good. They were not even sure which land they're going to issue the Nubian community. That's why they decided to go to the other side, where it has a fence, it is a fenced land, and you know public lands are never done like that. But putting things aside, we appreciate the committee that was selected, and we appreciate the comments that the county manager has already talked about, writing to the national land. And what we want, and what the lawyer Maua was telling the people, you cannot move to a land which has wrangles. You cannot move to a land where you don't know where the document is going to come from. Once you move to a land which is not yours, you've not been issued with a title deed, you will be seen as a squatter who was squattering at some other people's land, and now the county government is coming remorsefully to resettle you. We don't want something like that. But if the process of issuing the title deed is ongoing, there's no dispute about it. Because when you look at the situation on the ground, the toilets are flooded. There is communicable diseases. You know, children are not going to school, and they're still going to sit in the same exams. So what we want is fastening of these procedures and processes. We don't want beautiful work plans that has already been shared, but we want things get going.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, sir, Musa. In the interest of time, yes. Mr. Abala Wanga, I'm going to give you a chance to at least give your parting shot on this particular program in the interest of time, now that you had already clarified about the matters for as far as legalities are concerned with that new land of the resettlement. What's your parting shot tonight, Mr. Abala?
Yes, Faisal, the whole of Kibos area is a swampy land. Even where the Nubian community was staying before was a swampy land. It's because they have just settled there for long. Where we have taken, there are people staying there. There's a school next door. There's a neighbor, there's a home behind it. So it is a matter of settling in a new place, which will at least become non-swampy. Even that time we were going there, there was no rain, no, there was no swamp, so it was not swampy. So what I would like to demystify is negative thoughts. critical issues are good because they improve the performance. But negative critical issues are not. What Maua should focus on is pursuing the land that the railway evicted people from and return it back. But having another land is an additional value. So how do you discourage people not to go to a land that the country is giving? It is our business to determine whether that land is genuine or not. And that's what we are doing. And that's where people, is there anybody who has gone there to evict people where we have settled them? They are there to stay and we are giving the document. So let me add the Nubian community that support this committee and all the well-wishers to support this committee to help the people resettle as quick as possible. Let us join hands and join hands and join strength. Yeah, and yes, and your team and the civil society, the lawyers, join us. Let us not advance negative thoughts. It won't help at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Bala. That's very powerful. Mr. Abdurrahman Mohammed, all the way from Kibos in Kisumu. What's your parting shot tonight as you're wrapping up this program? Una maneno gani ya mwisho kusema kwa wanaotutazama usiku huu tunapomalizia kipindi, tunapofunga jamvi letu hivi leo?
Naam.
Abdurrahman.
Oh, my parting shot tonight, first I want to comment to Mr. Bala.
Abdurrahman.
Nataka kwanza nataka kumpongeza bwana governor na timu yake. Bwana governor ameshajitolea na ameweka katika in writing ya kwamba anaenda kutupatia shamba na anaenda kuandikia land commissioner to transfer the parcel of land to the Nubian community. Tunaamini mambo yake. Sisi we are going to give full support to the committee. Mr. Bala Wanga and your team, you are the chair of the committee. Sisi sote and the Nubian community from the Kibos tunaenda kukusupport fully to make sure that watu wote wamekuwa resettled na title deed. Na mwisho ni kwamba my friend Mr. Yasa, tayari watu wameanza kutulia, wanafunzi saizi wamerudi shuleni na tunajaribu kivyo vyote mtoto yote asipatikane nyumbani. Tunawaamini na ya kwamba uwanja ni ya Nubian community from Kibos. So ni sisi kuungana mkono ili tuweze kupata hii title deed. Asanteni.
Thank you so much. Mr. Yasa Musa, Mr. Balawanga has asked you to join the group and work together. Parting shot without touching on that issue, please. Not the civil society, you can speak the whole night, just like the media people.
What I can say is, let's remove the picture that all the civil societies are here to fight the government. We are here to make sure the government is doing what it's supposed to do. And we are here to work together. And I'm very happy all the positives is coming on the ground. And if the community is well represented and if the community are well and have faith with the county government that the title deed is going to be issued, that is to the best interest of all of us. We have to make sure that we protect our community and we protect our nation. We are ready to work together and we are ready to be the watchdog. Anytime something happens, Mr. Abala will be there for you. Thank you.
Thank you. As my friend likes to say, if no one does anything, then nothing will be done at the end of the day. So let's take this initiative, personalize it, take it as our respective responsibility. Floods are coming, rain is pouring heavily in Kisumu, among many other counties, but in Kisumu, those people are outside. Thank you, County Governor Professor Nyang'nyong'o. Thank you so much, Waime. Jamia Mosque, Jazakumullah Khair. It's amazing what you have done. And Jamia Mosque has not yet stopped. Big things are coming. Keep it locked on Horizon TV and you'll see, inshallah, especially this coming week, what is going to happen. Mr. Balawanga, we pledge our support as Horizon TV on behalf of the whole team that's here We pledge your support. We are going to work with you, with all the partners, to see the Nubian community in Kibos resettled and living well. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time for us this evening and putting the records straight at least once and for all right here on Horizon TV. Live Real Talk may be taking a break for a few weeks, and we will be back bigger and better. Always keep it Horizon TV. I've been your host, Faisal Kassim. See you when you see me. Assalamu alaikum.
Horizon TV.